Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam prophesied as only a prophet could prophesy, that in the end time, time will move faster and yet faster. A whole year will pass like a month, a whole month like a week, a whole week like a day, a whole day like an hour, a whole hour like the amount of time it takes to kindle a fire. We ask the question, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us what is a year, and if we change that, it is kufr. And if Allah told us what is a month, and we change that, it is kufr. And if Allah told us what is a week, and we change that, it is kufr. And if Allah told us what is a day, when does a day begin, and when does a day end, and we change that, that is kufr. And what does the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam mean when he speaks about an hour? How many hours are there in a day? What is the length of an hour? And if this is something ordained by Allah and we change it, that is kufr. This morning we saw that a year with Allah is 12 months. The ayah is in Suratul Tawbah. إن عدة الشهور عند الله 12 شهرا يوم خلق السماوات والأرض إلى آخر الآية. That on the day when Allah created the heavens and the earth, Allah determined that there are 12 months. So when you reach number 12, you've got to come back to number 1. And so a year is comprised of 12 months. But what is a month? A month is from one hilal to the next, one moon. So 1 year is 12 lunar months. Today, 1 year is 2024. Today, 1 year is 2024. So a year is no longer 12 lunar months. No. A year is now 1 solar year. So we have changed what is in the Quran. Are you listening to me?
Yes. Yes.
We have changed what is in the Quran. A month, a year is no longer 12 lunar months. And the year is now 1 solar year. And that is kufr. Does anyone differ with me? No?
They all agree.
And so all of mankind today, illa masha'Allah, are in kufr. And it is the function of this ummah to call mankind back to the truth. So Indonesia, you have work to do. You have to tell the people of Indonesia that we are in kufr, that 1 year with Allah is 12 lunar months. That is in Surah Tawbah. But today 1 year is no longer 12 lunar months. 1 year is now a solar year, and that is kufr. Nobody disagrees. We also went on this morning to point out that when Allah speaks of a month, it begins with a hilal, the crescent moon, and it ends with the next hilal, the crescent moon. And so a month can have either 29 or 30 days. Nobody knows Nobody knows how many days there will be in a month when the month begins. Not even the government of Indonesia. But now today we have a different month from that in the Quran. Every month we know exactly how many days in the month. Am I correct? Every month we know exactly how many days in a month. And a month can have 31 days. And that is kufr. And a month can have 28 days. And that is kufr. So all of mankind in kufr today. And it is the function of this ummah to call mankind back to the truth. And now we ended this morning by pointing out that it is with the hilal that a month begins. But a hilal is like a baby. The baby is not born until you can hold the baby. The baby is still inside the mother's body. The baby is not yet born. The baby exists in the mother's belly, yes. The baby is there, but not yet born. Nabi Isa alayhi salam is in his mother's belly, but he's not yet born. And the Quran says about how much pain she had. She said, I wish I was dead. And then a voice said to her, shake the date palm and ripe dates will fall, and eat the dates. And Allah has placed a stream of water, and drink the water and refresh yourself. And then the baby was born. But Saudi Arabia says the baby is already born once the baby is in the mother's belly. And so every month the Saudi are beginning the month on the wrong day. And every month the Saudis are betraying the Quran. And the Saudis are giving us the Hajj on the wrong day. Those who have some common sense, some knowledge in their head would know a Hajj on the wrong day is a bogus Hajj. A Hajj on the wrong day is an invalid Hajj. But we have others who don't think anymore. They're just like sheep and cattle. They don't care whether the Hajj is on the right day or the wrong day. No, we're going Hajj, we're going Hajj. Those sheep and cattle will not bring Islam back to glory. Those who are faithful to the Quran, these are the ones who will follow Imam al-Mahdi. And so now we leave the year and we leave the month and we come to the week. Does the Quran tell us what is a week? Yes, it does. When the Quran speaks of Yawm Sabt, which is the Sabbath day. What is Yawm Sabt, of the Sabbath day? Answer. Allah says many times in the Quran. He said, I created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام, 6 days. Then Allah ordained that on the 7th day, the believers in Allah must commemorate the 6 days of creation. So He ordained on the 7th day that you must rest and you must pray, but you cannot work. Tabule, no work. And those believers are those who followed Nabi Musa alayhi salam, and they were called Banu Israel. So the week was comprised of 6 days, which were like the 6 days of creation, and a 7th day known as Yawm Sabt, which commemorated the 6 days of creation. So a week in the Quran is 7 days. And the last day of the week is the day of rest. Did you hear that? The last day of the week is the day of rest. But in Indonesia, the day of rest is the first day of the week. If you're flying from Kuala Lumpur to Surabaya and then you have to drive to Jambar, you must come on the first day of the week. Not the last day, the first day. Because the first day is when Indonesia is resting. Am I correct? Huh? So we fly on Sunday, evening flight. And then Sunday night driving easy, no traffic. No traffic. Why? Indonesia is resting on the first day. All the rest of the world are doing the same thing. They don't call it Yawm al-Ahad, they call it Sunday. And Sunday is the day of rest. But Allah says in the Quran, Yawm al-Sabt. Sabtu is the last day of the week. So we have changed the Quran. And that is kufr. Anybody disagree with me? Nobody?
No.
Some people say that Allah gave that law of the Sabt to Banu Israel, but He gave us Yawmul Jum'ah. And Yawmul Jum'ah has replaced Yawmul Sabt. Wrong. Number one, Yawmul Jum'ah is the 6th day of the week, not the 7th. Number two, Allah says in the Quran that when you finish Salatul Jum'ah, go back to work. So Jum'ah is not a day of rest. Anybody differ with me? So now we have kufr after kufr after kufr. We have kufr with the year. We have kufr with the month. We have kufr with the week. Anybody differ with me? No. Let us turn to the day. Allah says He gave us the day and the night, and He caused the day and the night to rotate. The word day in the Quran is nahar, and night in the Quran is layl. And layl and nahar is like a man and a woman. The same way that Allah created layl and nahar, He created men and women. Layl and nahar combined become yawm, one day. Let me repeat. Layl and nahar combined make yawm. And there are 29 or 30 days in a month. So when does a day begin and when does a day end? The Quran tells us that the day ends at sunset. Once the sun has set, the day has ended. Our Shia brothers differ with us. And they say that because Allah says in the Quran, He says, eat and drink in Ramadan, during the night of Ramadan. Eat and drink until the light of the day is distinct from the darkness of the night. Then the fast will begin. Then Allah says, ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. Complete the fast until the layl or night. So what is night for the Shia? The Shia say night is when the night is not when the sun has set. No. The night is when there is no more light in the sky. So the Shia believe that the day ends after twilight has ended. The day ends and then the new day begins when the twilight is ending. After the sun has set, there is still light in the sky. That light is called twilight. It's also called dusk. When there is no more light in the sky, then the Shia say, now we break the fast. So we break the fast at Maghrib, but they will keep on fasting for some time after Maghrib. But our Shia brothers are wrong, because the Sharia which came to Banu Israel was that you have to fast from sunset to sunset. So the day ended at sunset, and the new day began when the old day ended at sunset. The new day begins when the old day ends at sunset. That is why when the moon of Ramadan is seen, Ramadan begins. And we have the first Salatul Taraweeh. And the next day we have the fasting. What is it called in Bahasa? Buka?
Buka.
Huh?
Sahur.
Buka.
Break the fast.
No.
Sahur.
Fasting.
Sahur.
Saum.
Sahur. Sahur.
Saum.
Sahur.
Okay. Saum. So now then, have we remained faithful to the Quran? Or have we committed kufr again with the day? The evidence on Judgment Day for every single one of us will be plain and clear that when December 31st arrives, which is about 2 weeks from now, when we wait for midnight and then the fireworks, and we are celebrating that the day has ended and the week has ended, the month has ended, the year has ended at midnight, and now it's time to dance, to celebrate the new year when midnight. Is this kufr? Yes, it is. Does anybody differ with me?
No one.
No one. So we're in plenty trouble now. Kufr, 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 kufr. Kufr with the year, kufr with the month, kufr with the week, kufr with the day. Now your black hair will become grey. Our Prophet went on to say that a whole day will pass like an hour. That one is difficult. So we save that for tomorrow morning. What is an hour in Islam? How long is an hour in Islam? How many hours are there in a day? That is your homework. From tonight until tomorrow morning, your homework. Go and research it. And tomorrow morning, inshallah, we'll take up what is an hour and whether we made kufr with that as well. Any questions?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Eric from Madura. Dear Sheikh, I want to ask about your opinion. At first, you've been teaching us that the one who not following the system of time is kufr. And the other hand, you also teach us that part of the Ahlul Kitab is not all kufar.
I want first of all to get questions on the subject on which we have lectured. This is only fair to me. This is only fair to me. I want first to get questions on what we have just taught. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Saya ingin tanya masalah waktu maghrib, Syekh.
Wow, it's about Maghrib time, sir.
di Al-Quran Allah berfirman khaytul abyaduh dan khaytul aswaduh, benang merah dan benang putih.
Is the black thread and the white thread.
Khaytul abyaduh, benang putih adalah munculnya fajar sodek, dan khaytul aswaduh, benang hitam adalah hilangnya mega merah di timur, yaitu disebut dengan blue hour.
Okay. The white thread is actually the Fajar Sadiq, and the black thread is the blue hour.
Menurut Syiah, masuknya maghrib ketika momen blue hour, benang hitam muncul di timur.
Yeah. According to Shia, this blue hour,
benang hitam muncul di timur.
when the white or the black thread emerges from the east.
Yang disebut dengan khaytul aswaduh.
Yang disebut which is the black thread.
Allah sent Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam to teach the Quran. Is this true? Am I correct? What did he say? What did he say about the white thread and the black thread? Is it the same that you said? Or have you said something different from him? I'll tell you what he said, and you'll then tell me whether you agree with him. Nabi Muhammad ﷺ said that when Allah spoke of the white thread and the black thread of dawn, what he meant by that was that we can eat and drink until the light of the day is clearly distinct from the darkness of the night. That is all that he has taught us. And if that is not enough for some people, then they can go their way and leave us alone. For us, this is enough that he has taught us. That when Allah spoke about the white thread and the black thread of dawn, what he meant by that was to eat and drink until the light of the day is distinct from the darkness of the night. This is so simple that even the babies agree with me now. Yeah. Next question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Dijelaskan tadi oleh Syekh, antara malam sama siang, lail sama nahar, itu seperti perempuan, lelaki dan perempuan.
Yeah.
Apakah seperti itu juga antara bulan dan matahari? Khususnya ketika waktu, artinya dua-duanya dipakai. Bulan moon dipakai, matahari juga dipakai. Saya melihat matahari dipakai untuk menentukan sholat, subuh, duhur, asar, maghrib. Tapi untuk menentukan hari itu adalah pakai bulan. Mohon penjelasannya.
When you explain about the Lail and Nahar, and when man and woman combine, is it also the same applies to the moon and the sun? Which means that we determine the time for prayer using the sun, and about the month is the moon for the month.
The sun and the moon have not been given in the Quran as similar to the man and the woman. Suratul Layl of the Quran, and this is what Allah says. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى. And Allah takes a night and that which it covers with such mystery, such splendor, such beauty. وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى. And He takes an oath by the day and bright light. And then He says, وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى. Meaning that in the same way that I created the night and the day, so too did I create the male and the female. You cannot have day without night. That would not be something to enjoy. You cannot have night without day. That's not something we can live with. So we need both night and day, and they complement each other. They're like two halves which come together to make a whole. So in the same way that the night and the day are related to each other, so too the man and the woman are related to. If you want to understand the relationship between a man and a woman, you must look to see the relationship between the night and the day. And that is why I am so happy that Sheikh Yai is now married. But Allah has given both the sun and the moon, as well as the night and the day, for measuring time. The sun and the day and the moon, the night and the day, all are used for measuring time. Selamat jalan until tomorrow morning.
Sampai besok.
Sampai
Besok.
betok.
Sampai besok.
Sampai betok. All right? And I'll meet the sisters after Maghrib. After Isha, but only half an hour. Sampai betok.
Okay,
Sampai betok.